Sophie Cunningham. Holy Lord, Sophie Cunningham. She had herself one heck of a weekend to start off with the Indiana Fever. First, yesterday, with her performance against the Washington Mystics, and today, once again, with that energy, that desire, that passion that she brings to the court seemingly every time she steps out there. And let's talk about that. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Shoma. We talk facts over feelings. Appreciate y'all continued support of this channel as we get closer and closer to 10,000. We've busted through 8,700. Help us get there by the start of this season. I'm going to be putting out as much content as possible to incentivize you to please do that. I appreciate y'all continued support. And for those of you who jumped on the live with me tonight, the impromptu live, thank you so very, very much for jumping on with me. Had a good old time. I felt the need to jump on because I didn't plan on it, but you know what? Hey, sometimes the urge comes, and it was there today. I've said over and over again, I think preseason basketball doesn't mean shit. And I stand on that. I absolutely stand on my belief. Preseason sports are not designed for your stars. They're not designed for your starters. They're not designed for your high usage rotational players. Preseason sports are largely designed to see younger players get on the court or on the field. Yet, maybe it's different when it comes to the WNBA because when you watch the WNBA and you see how much they play these starters, you sit here and you say, why are they doing that? Just why are they doing that? So, for example, Indiana in the game against Washington, the game that Caitlin Clark did not play, had two starters play 25 more minutes. Three starters play at least 25 minutes. That being DeWanna Bonner played 27, Leah Boss played 26, and Kelsey Mitchell played 28. Makes no sense to me. The score of this game doesn't mean dick. It doesn't mean a damn thing. Who wins, who loses, who cares? Caitlin Clark did not play. So any game that Caitlin Clark does not play in, realistically, you're not going to get an idea of what this team can be and will be. You can look at their numbers. They shot 30% from the field, 30%, and 21.4% from three. They shot 27 of 28 from the line, though, in this particular game. And they did come back and win in overtime after trailing by as many as, I think, 15 points. But you can't play players who are in the rotation like that. I mean, you can. It doesn't make a lot of sense to do so because the goal is to actually see what other players can do. And then Lexi Hull plays 33 minutes and Sophie Cunningham plays 34 minutes. You're like, wow, you got five players that played 26 minutes or more in a meaningless preseason game. Now, I'm not going to harp too much into the playing of the players. Again, to me, this is where you should be playing the players that are maybe not going to make the team, maybe have a shot. You don't know. But those are the players that, in my opinion, largely should be on the court in these particular games. Just like in the NFL, you play a series or two with the starting quarterback. And after that, it's backups all game. I don't need to see starters on the floor in the third quarter of a preseason game. I mean, people will sit here and say, "Oh, you're crazy. They don't only have so much time." Blase, blase, which I think is a problem in itself. The WNBA should fix. I don't know why you're rushing the season. You can always have it end a little bit later in October or early November. Maybe why are you the WNBA worried about what goes on overseas? Stop worrying about what goes on overseas. It's not your job to supplement the players overseas. It's your job to have the best league you could possibly have, and yet and still you added four more games to the schedule, and you got a 3-week training camp. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So maybe that's the reason that they're doing it. I still don't agree with it, but maybe that's their logic. That said, Sophie Cunningham played 34 minutes of this game yesterday on Saturday. Way too many minutes, in my opinion. But what I saw from Sophie Cunningham is this video is about Sophie Cunningham, nobody else. I don't care what anybody else did. I don't care what they did or didn't do. I have my opinions on those players. It is what it is. Caitlin Clark did not play. What we learned, what I think I learned, what I feel like I learned, which I hope you learned, and if you didn't learn it and you didn't see it and you didn't notice it, I'm going to tell it to you. What I think we saw. We found out that Sophie Cunningham brings an intensity level, an energy, a fight, a passion, a desire that we have not seen and we did not see one time from any singular Indiana Fever player on this team last season. Not a single person. Not one outside of Caitlin Clark. It's that simple. We did not see the type of fire that Sophie Cunningham brought to that game against Washington. That is the first thing that we saw. So, because of that, you see something right there in itself that shows you something different. Now, looking at the rest of the game, per se, defensively, I thought they played poorly in the first half. I thought they played poorly. What I also saw was that Sophie Cunningham, realistically, is the point guard when Caitlin Clark is not on the floor. It's that simple. They did not function with Sydney Colson at point guard. She started, she played 15 minutes. When she was on the floor, they were horrendous. I'm not trying to dog anybody out, but if you're talking about a player that's going to get cut, Sydney Colson should probably get cut. If you're going to look to keep more rookies, Sydney Colson is the cut. She's absolutely going to be cut. Okay, take that back. I don't know if she will be or not. I think based on what I'm watching so far, she is a player that should be cut. Just my opinion. I'm watching what I'm watching. She played 15 minutes. The team was minus 15 with her on the court. Like, give me a break. She can't shoot. She dribbles not all that great. Her handles aren't that great. Her vision isn't that great. She is a 5-minute player to spell Caitlin Clark in the regular season. If she's got to play 15, 20 minutes of a game, the Indiana Fever are likely going to be losing that game. My opinion. Sophie Cunningham, when she was on that floor, controlled the game. She controlled the game. She shot the ball well. She was aggressive. She was physical. She was passionate. She brought it all. If we learn one thing about this game, one thing besides passion, is that Sophie Cunningham should be the backup point guard. And because of that, there are so many people that I've seen saying, "Oh, how long before Sophie Cunningham starts?" Sophie Cunningham is not going to start. Look at the roster. Look at the roster. You're not going to start her. She's a guard. Like, understand that. She's a guard. Are you going to start her in front of Caitlin? No. Are you going to start her in front of Kelsey Mitchell? Fuck no. Are you going to start? And then if you want to look at the rest of the roster, are you going to start in front of Aaliyah Boston? No. Are you going to start in front of DeWanna Bonner? No. Are you going to start in front of Natasha Howard? No. If you try to start her in front of Natasha Howard, you make your team small. Not to mention, again, I'm talking about energy. She brings a burst of energy, excitement, passion, all that stuff off of the bench. And it's vital. It is absolutely vital to have that type of passion and energy coming off of your bench. People can dismiss it all they want. I think it's critical. And on top of that, if she's now your backup point guard, which is what I feel she should be, you can't start her. You can't. It would make no sense. Today, for example, she played 11 minutes. She had 6 points. She had 3 rebounds and assists. She didn't play a ton. They gave a lot more minutes to the other players, which I thought they should have done yesterday. They won by 64 fucking points, for Christ's sakes. They gave minutes to Yvonne Ejim. They gave minutes to Jillian Aline. They gave minutes to Jaylen Brown. Bree Hall got 16 minutes. She scored 9. Lexi Hull only played 10. So yesterday they played 34 and 33, and today they played a lot less. But you still saw that passion out of Sophie Cunningham. You still saw it. She's passionate, man. She's not afraid of anything, man. And that's what I respect about that woman. She's going to bring it. And like I said, I don't take a whole lot from preseason games. But that one thing that I noticed out of her was that she doesn't care if you're playing tiddlywinks, hula hoop, jump rope, spades, tonk, gin, poker, or basketball. She wants to win every time she can. She has that attitude, and I love it. And I think that attitude is critical to this team this year. It really is. It really, really is. Today in the game against Brazil, they shot the damn freaking roof off in the first half. They had 13 of 19 from three. They actually finished 15 of 33. So they went 2 of 14 in the second half. Caitlin played 19 minutes. We also saw who Caitlin Clark is based on this game. If you didn't know, you should know. And I'll talk about that in a subsequent video. But Sophie Cunningham, big time performance, big time. You see something. I see something there. Maybe you don't. Let me know your thoughts. Do you see what I see, or do you disagree? Love to hear what you got to say. Again, I'm not talking about other players. This is specifically about Sophie Cunningham. And I mentioned Colson simply because she's the backup point guard. And in my opinion, the real backup point guard is actually Sophie Cunningham. Leave your thoughts in the comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Leave a comment. I greatly appreciate all y'all. This is Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way, women's basketball. Come on now.